Welcome to 27 Topics, and with us today is somebody that you have seen in the past. However, having been away at school, we haven't seen you for a while.
Right.
Or even heard from you for a while. So it's great to have you, Courtney Knies.
Thank you.
Student at DePauw University, and she is here to tell us about the Community Service Scholarship, the Bonner Scholarship, which you have received. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Bonner Scholarship really is?
Okay. The Bonner Scholarship is part of the Corella and Bertram Bonner Foundation, and it's established at 27 schools throughout the nation. And it's a 4-year community service scholarship. And the agreement when you receive the scholarship, it's essentially in place of work study. It goes to students that have a higher financial need than normal, and it focuses on getting students off of campus and out into the community where their university is located. So during the school year, each Bonner volunteers approximately 10 hours every week. That averages out to 240 hours a year. And then over the course of their 4 years in college, they do 2 summer placements where they work for 2 not-for-profit agencies, and essentially an internship for 280 hours in the summer.
And this summer, what have you done this summer?
This summer, the Bonner Scholars led me to the Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership in Westfield, Indiana, so just north of Indianapolis in the Fishers, Noblesville, Carmel area. And the Greenleaf Center is dedicated to teaching this philosophy of servant leadership. In 1964, Robert K. Greenleaf, who was actually born and raised in Terre Haute, it was after he retired, he decided to start the Center for Applied Ethics. And I believe it was in the Cambridge area, I think at MIT. And he wanted to just bring people together to teach this philosophy that he had. He was tired of seeing the power model of leadership everywhere in the world and wanted to try to teach them about servant leadership. So in 1970, he published his original essay called The Servant as Leader, and in it coined the phrase servant leader. And the definition of a servant leader, as defined by Greenleaf in this publication, he talks about it being the natural feeling that one wants to serve and to serve first. And then through that, they make the conscious choice to then become a leader. So the difference between the servant first and the leader first is the servant first makes sure that those he is leading, their highest priority needs are met. So that's how you do it. Instead of the leader first would then be starkly different in that it would be about him or her leading and everyone serving them to meet their needs, instead of the reverse, which would be to serve those that you're leading instead.
So how did you get started with first of all, with the Community Service Scholarship? What made you apply for that?
Well, when I was in high school and middle school, I was very fortunate to have a community service background, and it had been instilled in me, and I just got a great feeling inside when I was able to go out and try to help others in whichever ways they needed to be. So when I was looking at colleges and universities to attend, that was a big deal for me and a big factor in where I was going. So when I was researching and I found out about this Bonner Scholars Program, I just realized that it was really where my heart was, and that it was a bunch of people on campus that are with me. We've created our own community where we go out and make a conscious effort to serve the community we are living in and to try to give something back to them. And it was just through all the application processes.
So what were some of the things you did? You attended DePauw University in Greencastle?
Correct.
What were some of the things you did through the school year?
Well, I've been at school for 2 years, and the first year I volunteered at the YMCA after-school program and also for the American Reads program at one of their local elementary schools. So the after-school program went after school, helped with tutoring issues and just supervision on the playground and things like that. And then with the American Reads program, I had one student in the elementary school that we met twice a week, and we read one-on-one. She was behind in her reading level. So we read one-on-one, did activities with each of the books just to try to get her interested in reading. And then this past year, I volunteered at a local school, and it was in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade classroom. They were all in one classroom with 2 teachers, and my primary responsibility second semester was teaching their 3rd graders their math lessons every day. So it was just a great experience to get off campus and take what I was learning in the classroom and try to apply it and see it actually in the real world. So.
And then, from there, did you work out in the first summer too at the leadership?
Last summer, I worked at Camp Cook. It's the Raintree Girl Scout Council's resident camp, and also in Michigan at Young Life's Timberwolf Lake camp. So I did 2 different, I was a camp counselor last summer. And then this summer, I found the Center for Servant Leadership because Bonner Scholars actually taught us about servant leadership. So I became interested in the philosophy, and one thing led to another down a very random path. And I ended up in Westfield, and it was a wonderful summer.
Well, Westfield certainly is a beautiful part of Indianapolis.
Definitely. Living in that community north of Indianapolis, all those suburbs, it was a completely different experience for me. But it was great. It was a really nice community to see everybody, and just a completely different world up there. So that's why the Bonner Scholar program is so amazing, because it gives me all different kinds of opportunities to stretch and grow while I'm in my undergrad years. So.
Now, during the summer then, did you work out in the community?
Primarily, I was at the center, and it has a staff of 5 people. At the beginning of the summer, we had our conference, which was in downtown Indianapolis. Over 400 people came from all over the world. And then the center is also in a growth and transformation period. So I was in the actual office building most of the time working. But through that and through technology now, I got to communicate with people all over the world. One of the primary focuses of the center is the membership. You can become a member of the center and then receive regular communication and some benefits to supporting that, and we can support you on a more individual basis as during your servant leadership journey. So I was communicating with people from all over. The Singapore and the Netherlands are 2 other Greenleaf centers, so it's really a grassroots movement that's just taken off.
So you're up there, and how is it funded? How is the center funded?
The membership and the annual conference are the biggest funders right now, and then also some private donations. So.
And is there anything else that you want to tell us about the Servants for Leadership?
I guess if you want to find out more about the Center for Servant Leadership, you can go to greenleaf.org. And there was a new CEO, Kent Keith, started April of 2007, and he's published a new book called The Case for Servant Leadership that lays out 7 practices of a servant leader that's very good for taking a philosophy and showing how it translates into real world. So.
And so you have 2 more years left at DePauw?
Correct.
And what are you going to plan to do with your life?
Well, I'm a sociology major and a political science minor, and I really don't know where life's taking me over the next 2 years. Right now, the not-for-profit world, I'm really loving it, and there's a lot of need out there, and I think that when organizations work properly and develop and work on this servant leadership model, I just saw how perfectly it can fit and how people can take their desires and help others and help it expand. So I don't know where I'm going, but it's exciting.
And, with the organization, how have you grown internally?
Well, through both Bonner Scholars and the Greenleaf Center this summer, it's really taught me that community service is more than just going out in the community and stuffing envelopes for a day or raking leaves for a day. It really is an entire attitude about how you take on life. And I guess I live by the philosophy of carpe diem, to seize the day, that every day is a gift and you only have that day. You're not guaranteed anything beyond that. So just to take it and realize that you're not the center of the universe, or you're not the only person, and we are living in a global society, and we have to be able to serve one another locally, globally, and it just gets bigger and bigger. So that would be what I've learned, and that through that you have to have your own community support. So like the Greenleaf Center has developed a community of servant leaders, and the Bonner Scholars have developed a community of people that want to go out and serve. So.
Very good. You have time for some closing comments, and also again reiterate how people can maybe become better known with the.
Okay. The Bonner Scholar Organization, their website is bonner.org, bonner.org, and the common commitments that we teach that the community that I've been talking about builds on are community building, civic engagement, diversity, international perspective, spiritual exploration, and social justice. So I encourage all of you to visit that website for more information. And also with the Greenleaf Center, to go on the website and check out the online catalog that has all types of resources. And the 7 practices of servant leadership that I touched on earlier are self-awareness, listening, changing the pyramid, developing your colleagues, coaching, not controlling, unleashing the energy and intelligence of others, and foresight. So I would also challenge all the viewers to take a look at those 7 characteristics and how they can implement them into their life. Because servant leadership, Robert Greenleaf challenged that if you can change just one institution in this world, you've made a huge impact. So I would challenge everyone for that.
Courtney, thank you for being our guest this morning and bringing us up to speed on the Bonner Scholarship and also the Robert Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership.
Correct.
Thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you.
And have a great school year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.